Bad Movie Mountain.
It's not Bad Movie Fountain.
Bad Movie Mountain.
All the good movies we be discounting. Hang on. Discounting?
What? That's perfect, right? Come on, let's get back to it. It was really grooving. Bad Movie Mountain.
It's not Bad Movie Fountain.
Oh, bloody hell. Right. So.
How did we forget about any of that?
What? Oh, fuck!
Right, so where do we even start? Cisco, what is the story of Ricky about?
Right. There isn't what you call much of a plot. I mean, there is a sort of plot, but it's difficult to follow, so I'm just going to try and give you the cliff notes. Basically, Ricky is sent to prison for manslaughter, although we do see him murder.
I was going to say, it's not really manslaughter, is it? It is straight up 100% murder.
Yeah. He has superpowers, as in he's super strong, and there's a mention of a force field. Doesn't really quite play into anything. There's a lot of stuff that's mentioned that just then is forgotten about later on. He's sent to prison. The warden is evil. There's a deputy warden who's also evil, and there's 4 prisoners who are all superpowered ninjas who are all evil. And basically, Ricky kills his way through all of them.
Character is introduced. He's either evil, so Ricky will have to kill him, or sympathetic and killed, so Ricky will have reasons to kill people.
Yes, and that just loops throughout the movie. You go from one amazing random fight scene to the next. The blood and guts are amazingly graphic.
I was going to say fight scene or gore scene.
Gore scene, yeah. I mean, there are some fight. It's not all gore. There are some actual fights, but all of them end gory. And then after he's killed everybody, he leaves.
Which he could have done at any point. Right. Well, here we go.
Oh my fucking god.
I do not remember that in this film. Is this a fetish film?
We're about to watch a gay porno. Again.
Woo! So, now that the cat has joined us, everybody knows what my favourite scene is, probably, by my reactions to it. It's my favourite death scene of any film, good or bad. What's your favourite scene from the story of Ricky?
It has to be, given some thought, because there's a lot of really good scenes. There is a lot. I mean, it's tough, but for me, it's one of the opening scenes, which is the shower scene, with the old man reaching for his towel, getting thrown against the wall, magically pulling out a train, magically pulling out a plane, having his face planed off, Ricky tripping the guy over it into a bed of nails, and magically, there's so much that just magically appears in that scene. It's fantastic.
Where does the bed of nails come from?
He's been in prison 5 minutes. He's managed to put it together somehow and put it into place and drip somebody over and poke their eye out with it. It's fantastic. It really sets the tone for the rest of the movie because it's so graphic. It's so hilariously written and mistimed, and there's that wonderful bit with the 4 guys peeing together halfway through. It's just
they're exposition guys.
So
they're sort of
much.
giving you background exposition. It's
They're
like,
giving you exposition,
he's
then
at
they're
it
all
again.
Pissed together. It's like, what the fuck?
Daniel's at it again. He's a gang leader and the captain of the cell block.
He's friends with the guards.
Well, what can you do?
And that just sets you up for the movie, because once that scene's over, everything is awesome. Everything that follows is great. His reaction to the old man dying, how dare you reign.
Yes, he beats up the rain because the old man that he never met died.
It is so awesome.
It never stops. The story of Ricky starts strong, old man being flung around, nails to the eyes, never stops. Scene after scene after scene, gore, insanity, madness.
It ends with Ricky mincing the bad guy, quite literally in a mincing machine. His entire skeleton down to his head.
Yeah, the thing I love about that is, though, right? That mincing machine was just introduced in a scene before that.
There's a lot of that throughout the entire movie. Things are established a moment before they're needed.
All of it is just, hey, by the way, this is a thing. Oh my god, that thing's been killed. It's been exploded. There's guts everywhere. Wasn't that amazing? Cut to next thing. Hey, look at this thing. Okay, I have to mention his son?
Yeah. I'm assuming son and not... I mean, he calls him son.
Wait, he's his son, but the actor's like in his 30s or something,
Yeah,
playing a 4-year-old.
I don't know if he's supposed to be 4. He's definitely not older than 10. Oh, God, what the fuck?
He's just randomly dressed in like these weird
pajamas?
1950s pajamas with the sleep cap and the stripes. And he looks like he's out of Willy Wonka or something.
Yeah, and oh, fuck. That character, I mean, just... There is no need for him. There's no explanation for him.
That's true of the entire movie. There's no need for this. There's no explanation for this, but watch.
Unlike all the other stuff in that movie, he doesn't get killed or exploded or anything, so he's just a character that's there.
He's there until the movie goes, we should probably get rid of him. And he just says, take my son away, and if anybody tries to stop you, you can shoot them with this. Which, no explanation, is a flintlock pistol that shoots bullets that make people inflate and then explode.
Yeah.
As you do.
You have to introduce those concepts and that thing earlier on.
Story of Ricky doesn't. Fuck you, here's an exploding bullet. Fuck you, he is in the sewer. Why is he in the sewer? Fuck you, here's a dog. There's no animals in the prison. Where did that come from?
And then the dog's dead. The dog is introduced and killed in the same scene.
Exactly. Things are introduced and then killed either to upset Ricky, to make him kill, or for Ricky himself to kill.
He ate that dog's heart.
Yeah, it was fucking tasty.
There is a possibility that the story of Ricky makes sense. Or makes more sense.
There's
and
a possibility
just very
that
badly
makes
translated.
No. Ricky's here we go. I'm going to run through this, right? Ricky's girlfriend is in university or college, even though it looks like a cafe.
Yeah.
She leaves. She goes down the street. People are taking drugs. Drugs are bad. She is shocked by this. Not in my town. She turns to leave and runs into somebody. Smash cut to her being flung onto a bed, but no reaction from her. She's just sort of lying on the bed, not moving. He says to what is apparently his boss, she saw us dealing drugs, so I brought her back here. What should we do? He said, what would you do if an old woman saw you? You know, don't bring everyone back here. He goes, you're right, boss.
Very
we won't.
reasonable thing of, why did you bring this woman to me?
Yeah, but then it pulls back to show that the bed is in the same room he's in. So he kind of goes over to her and picks her up off the bed. She still hasn't moved. There's no expression on her face whatsoever. She's just blindly staring. He moves the hair off her cheek. She sits there for a few seconds, screams, runs out the room past the two guys who brought her, up the stairs, and runs straight off the roof. Cut to the dummy the other way around, falling and just splat on the floor. It is so fucking hilarious. The timing of it is amazing. They couldn't have written that to be dramatic.
The dummy shot is fantastic as well. Like, of the dummy falling, it's just so good.
And a shoe goes flying off. It's amazing.
It's like you hear the dummy shots and you see the dummy shots. This is like the quintessential. This is the textbook example. This could be taught in universities. This is the dummy shot. This is the dummy shot.
So this is to imply that his girlfriend is killed by like drug dealers, But she wasn't. They just happened to be there when she herself ran up the stairs instead of down to get out of the building and just ran straight off the roof. They didn't push her. They didn't throw her. Someone took her to a house she didn't know. She commits suicide.
Yeah.
Ricky, super angry by this, puts on a camouflage poncho, as you do, goes over and murders the guy whose house it was. Not even the people who picked her up off the street, who was just randomly on the street with some hookahs, I think is supposed to be. Maybe some prostitutes.
The hell's your problem, huh?
Here's the thing. A lot of bad movies have low budgets. This doesn't seem to be low budget. This
No,
seems
I mean,
high budget for the time
Dated,
as well.
but yeah, for around the time, I would have said it was still lowish budget, but not,
It is a Hong Kong film. They're not spending like Hollywood money on it.
Yeah.
But I
that's
think
what I mean.
production-wise, it's really well done. I think the audio, the dubbing is very questionable.
Rogan, don't you know how to do your job? Damn it!
But whatever. The point is, it's well made. It's an
Yes.
amazing bad movie, but money was spent on it. I think time and care was spent on it. This wasn't it's crazy because the director's insane and incompetent. I'm saying it's very good from a production standpoint. Yeah?
I think with all the money they put into it, there is a possibility they could have done an actual really good film, or an actual decent film. But what they couldn't have done is the story of Ricky, because the story of Ricky, it defies plot. It's just there. It is a thing. You go from one scene to the next and you don't know what's going to happen. And everything is just awesome. Like, it took 15 years for us to forget this movie. I don't think I'm ever going to forget it a second time. I think now I've seen it a second time. It is indelible on my brain. But I am going to force everybody that we know to watch it because it is that damn good.
Yes, everybody should watch it, which is probably the next thing. I would fully recommend going out, finding a copy of the story of Ricky. It's amazing. We've shown some of the best, or what we think are the best bits, but you should really watch the whole thing. Start to finish, it's non-stop insanity.
Yeah, like most bad movies, even the best ones, there are periods of kind of boring bits, or, it's dull, or it's just...
Exposition dumps.
Yeah, that sort of thing. You don't really get that in the story of Ricky. Even the exposition dumps end with fucking insanity.
Or start with insanity. That entire thing with his uncle was supposed to be explaining like Ricky's past, but it didn't explain anything. It just raised more questions.
You know Qigong. Uncle, I want to learn Qigong. I can help the weak. Please teach me.
Cisco, would you recommend people go out and find their own copy of the story of Ricky?
As long as they don't try and get a hold of our copy, then yes, absolutely, I would recommend the story of Ricky to anybody who loves bad movies, anybody who loves just blood and guts and gore. Actually, I don't know about the blood and guts because it's really bad.
It's not bad. It's funny.
It's funny. I still go ooh every single time, which made you laugh a lot because every time
something gruesome happened, you went,
time.
"Oh, oh, whoa!"
Yeah, it just because most of it just comes out of nowhere as well, though. It's so graphic, but yes, absolutely, fully, wholeheartedly recommend that you watch the story of Ricky. That you get a hold of it somehow. And watch it.
You're all free now!
Oh, speaking of, I also recommend getting a cat. They will get in the way of everything you do.
He doesn't give a shit.
Do you recommend the story, Ricky? He's considering it. He's considering it. Find your copy of the story of Ricky. It's amazing. Ooh, free prize draw. Hong Kong Legends. That's not a thing anymore. What type of genre do you prefer? Traditional kung fu, fantasy swordplay, category 3/adult. Category 3.
Category 3/adult.
Contemporary action/thriller, heroic bloodshed / gunplay. Please tick as appropriate.
There's some very specific categories of movie, especially category 3.
Oh my god, other titles available. Spooky. I can barely read these. Zoo Warriors from Magic Mountain.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I want to see that.
Mr. Vampire. Iron Monkey.
Haven't we seen Mr. Vampire?
We've seen Robo Vampire.
Oh, Robo Vampire. Robo Vampire is awesome.
Ninja in the Dragon's Den. Naked Killers.
I can't remember what's the zoo one. The zoo one sounds interesting. Okay, the zoo one sounds like it's going to have some really terrible special effects.
As long as there's no porn.
That wasn't where my mind went to.
Go get your copy of The Story of Ricky. It's amazing.
It really is. Get yourself a cat too.
Yeah, get a
kind
cat.
of cool.
They're amazing. At getting in the way.
I was wondering how long we were going to hold that for because it was getting a bit
Just
uncomfortable.
long enough.
And Story of Ricky becomes the first Bad Movie Mountain movie on the shelf of fame. Ta-da-da-da. Leave it. Leave it. That works so much better.